The sport I'm going to be talking about today is Sepak Takraw. So Sepak Takraw originated in Malaysia around 500 years ago. In the 16th century, it was mostly played by the royal court. But by 1940, the game was spread across Southeast Asia and formal rules and regulations were formed. In 1940 is when the game really started to become competitive. Before that, it was used as a way to showcase your skill and as a way to exercise. So the basic rules of Sepak Takraw are very similar to volleyball. The only difference really is that instead of touching the ball with your hands, it has to be touched with your feet. So each team is allowed 3 touches of the ball to pass it over to the other side. And the first team to score 21 points, and the team has to be leading by at least 2 points, wins. A match starts as soon as the teammate passes the ball to the server to be served over the net. So the national and international governing of Sepak Takraw really started in 1988. That's when the International Sepak Takraw Federation was formed, and the ISTAF works as an international governing body for Sepak Takraw, and the main goal is to popularize the game in at least 75 countries and get it a chance to potentially be included into the Olympics. So the regions and countries it's popular: Malaysia, Thailand, the Philippines, Europe, United States, specifically Los Angeles, but there was just a court opened in Minnesota, Canada, Korea, Japan, India, and Pakistan. So the profile of participants who play Sepak Takraw are typically participants of Vietnamese and Filipino descent. Because it did originate in Southeast Asia, it's more typical to see people from that culture playing it, and it is typically a more male-dominated sport, but there is a lot of female leagues. Main events of Sepak Takraw is the ISTAF Super Series, the ISTAF World Championship, the King Sepak Takraw competition, and this competition is actually dedicated to the King of Thailand, and then Korea Sepak Takraw competition, which is the largest domesticated competition. It's actually broken up into 4 divisions, and it's even has a chance for middle schoolers to play in this competition. So media coverage for Sepak Takraw is slowly starting to receive more coverage. So basically right now we only see high profile matches, and they're typically live streamed, but you can always find matches on YouTube. And I included a match from YouTube so that you can see how a typical match starts. So sponsorships, there isn't a lot of sponsors for Sepak Takraw. The biggest sponsor they have is Lining, and that is the official apparel sponsor. So they do all of the jerseys for the teams, and then any apparel that is sold is, if it's official, it's going to be a Lining shirt. And then one of the cool things is each team and association has the opportunity to have their own sponsors. So there's a big association in Canada, and they have completely different sponsors than you'll see in the United States teams. There's not a lot of licensed products for Sepak Takraw. The biggest licensed product that you can find is actually the ball they use, because it's very unique, and that is one of the biggest things you can find. You can find a replica net, and then you can find some apparel. I had a hard time finding specific players, but I could find teams. So I included 2 pictures. So the first picture, this is a typical spike, which is when you try and kick the ball down so that the other team cannot play it back. And I thought it was cool because if you look, they're blocking with their backs because they can't touch the ball with their hands. And this shows, this is a little bit of, how skilled you have to be in order to play this. It does take a lot of foot-eye coordination, and you have to have very good flexibility in order to play this sport. And then I included what the ball would really look like. So it's pretty cool, and it's actually woven. And then these are the references I used. So thank you for watching.